I want to introduce you to somebody this morning. I was on the phone for 20 minutes with this guy last night. Okay? I was on the phone with him for 20 minutes. He will be a guest on our show Monday at 8:30. Monday at 8:30, he will be a guest on our show. All right? I want to help this individual get the word out about his campaign. I am going to come so close to breaking my rule of not endorsing a candidate. I'm going to get right up to the edge. And the only thing I probably will do is not say I endorse him. That's probably the only thing that I will reel in, is actually saying I endorse this candidate, because it's a rule I have. So I got to keep myself real, right? Keeping it real, right? But I want to introduce you to this young man that I met I've met him before. He was at a rally the other day. I did not attend, but he was at a rally called the Trump Army. And his name is Justin Simmons. He is a representative, a state representative from PA District 131. All right? This is Justin right here. Now, Justin is running against, he is the primary challenger in the 15th District of Pennsylvania. And the reason I want to get into this is because I have inside sources into this race. Okay? I have inside sources that I can keep up with this race. The media will keep this race away from America, the nation. They didn't have a problem getting John Ossoff to be a national campaign. They didn't have a problem making others a national campaign when the media sees it to their advantage of maybe getting a Democrat elected. But they are not going to. They're not going to get in this race, the national media, in efforts to protect their darling. Charlie Darlin Dent, the darling of MSNBC, the darling of CNN, okay? The darling Charlie that when asked, all right, when asked, he was asked, and I'm going to tell you at a different time who this is. Charlie Dent, representative, all the time bashing Donald Trump. There he is, MSNBC, put him on the CNN also. He is a darling to the left media, all right? He is on the Tuesday group. You know the Tuesday group? Considered the moderates, really, of Republicans, representing the moderate wing of the Republicans. What I'm getting at is he was asked by the chairman of Northampton County, Pennsylvania, which went Republican for the first time since 1988. 1988. Under this chairman that also was a delegate to the convention, a Trump delegate in PA, Northampton switched from blue to red and is a major part. It's only 60 miles north of Philadelphia. Was a major part of what brought in and pushed Trump over the top in PA. It went for Trump. But Charlie Dent, when asked by the chairman of the Northampton Republican Party, when he was actually just going to switch to Democrat, told this person they were off the reservation and they should apologize to him. This guy here I met last night. I want you to meet Justin Simmons. I want to take this platform. This is Justin Simmons running against Charlie Dent. And let's meet him and then we'll come back.
With Republicans controlling both chambers of Congress and the presidency, one would think that our government could finally pass major bills they have been promising us in their campaigns for years. Unfortunately, that has not happened. The main reason why Republicans have failed to pass major policies, such as repealing Obamacare, is because of liberal Republicans colluding with Democrats to prevent it. The #1 turncoat in the Republican Party is the most liberal Republican in Congress, Congressman Charlie Dent. Like many Republicans, I used to support Charlie Dent. But in the past year, Charlie Dent has gone completely off the rails. Dent has been on the wrong side of every major issue, from Obamacare, spending, border security, and the list goes on. His actions don't stop with a single no vote. He spends most of his effort conspiring with the Democrats. Whether it's MSNBC, CNN, or the New York Times, Charlie Dent runs to these media outlets at every turn to bash Republicans and our president. I have heard and seen enough. And that's why I'm running for Congress, to unseat Charlie Dent, a congressman who sides with Nancy Pelosi more than with the voters who sent him there. I'm Justin Simmons. I have a proven conservative record of fighting for limited government, standing up to the left, and taking on the political establishment. Hardworking taxpayers like yourself should not be subject to wasteful spending, government inefficiency, and skyrocketing taxes. Republicans deserve a new conservative voice who will vote to repeal the failed policies of the Obama era and support the common sense conservative policies voters sent Republicans to D.C. to pass. I can't do this alone. I need your help. The entire political establishment is already lining up against me to assist Charlie Dent's smear machine, which has millions at its disposal from K Street. I'm not only asking you to sign up below, but to also financially support my effort so we can combat the DC swamp money that will be pouring in against our efforts. This isn't going to be easy, but then again, nothing worth fighting for ever is. I hope you will join me.
Okay, let me give you a handful of the reasons. Take my mic out of the ear. Let me give you a handful of reasons of why I'm picking this race. Okay? Now let's go with number one. We just recently had a race in Georgia where Jon Ossoff challenged Karen Handel. Okay? Now, I'll tell you what they're going to tell you. This will be their argument with Charlie Dent is he's the incumbent. Doesn't matter. It's the primary, so keep that in mind. So we just had a Jon Ossoff, Karen Handel. Now, the positive thing on the Republican side, the Republican House Campaign Committee, okay? They have their own campaign committee or campaign pack, the Republican House. The good thing is the Republicans did not put any money into anyone's campaign until the Republican primary was actually picked. The candidate. When the primary was done, they picked the candidate. Okay? Then the Republicans poured money into that. Karen Handel. There was a lot of talk it was too late. Republicans made a mistake not pouring money in before the primary, or what we call in the primary, special election. Anyhow, but that was it. Now, the Democrats on the other side had 5 candidates. The DCCC, the Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee, the DCCC, poured money into Jon Ossoff immediately, which really upset, because I interviewed and talked to the other candidates, really upset Ron Slotin and Dr. Quigg and several others, all 4 of the other Democrat candidates, that the DCCC was getting involved. Period. So let's fast forward. The swamp money. You need to call Congress. Here's what you need to do. This is the reason we're talking about this, okay? You need to call Congressman Doug Collins. Well, what do I have to do with this? You need to call your congressman, no matter where you're at in the United States, because this right here, you do not want the Republican Campaign Committee, the RCC, okay? Republican House Campaign Committee, whatever they are. You do not want them pouring money in to an incumbent to beat a primary challenger. Absolutely not. You want them to wait to pour their money in to the candidate after the primary. You're going to hear, no, that's just tough luck for a challenger if he doesn't have the money to run. Look, I'm telling you now, you need to tell your congressman, you need to get an outrage now all over this nation, because this district is not the only district in the United States that's going to have an incumbent that's going to have a primary challenger. It's not. And we need to get this clipped and get this out there big time, and we need to blow this up, because this is one of the reasons I've picked Charlie Dent and Mr. Simmons, Justin Simmons' race. Is because Justin Simmons just told you this is one of the most liberal, or is the most liberal. He's a media darling. Charlie Dent runs the New York Times, runs the MSNBC, runs the CNN. Every time the camera comes on, he runs for it. This guy told you this. I'm telling you this. We know this. We have evidence. We know that Charlie Dent did everything he could to kill anything that President Trump wanted to do over in the House. That Tuesday group, right, led the way in being negative against your and my president, okay? And now he has a challenger. So everywhere in the United States, one more time, I know you say, sometimes you keep saying it like we don't catch on. Everywhere in the United States, there's districts that you have these incumbents, okay, that need to go. And Donald Trump has laid the groundwork for them to go. All right? Laid the groundwork to help get rid of these Republicans. Well, we shouldn't have a Republican president trying to help get rid of Republicans. Yes, we should. We should have a Republican president doing that. But what we have to do is call our congressman's office. Make every call you can. We need a battle now to tell them, do not use the Republican House Campaign Committee funds during a primary and pour them into the incumbent when they have primary challengers. The second thing we got to watch for, folks, we've got to do it now, okay? Because 2018's kicked off. Donald kicked this off. Donald's running the place. I understand he's running the place, and for those out there that don't understand he's running the place, this is what happens, Paul. This is what happens, Mitch, when you don't understand that. The second thing that's very important in this election cycle is to watch the Trojan horse. Watch the Trojan horse. Now, I have sources that tell me this guy announced. Let me go to that. Let me go to that first, okay? This is from the Morning Call. The Morning Call puts out about 1 million papers a day in the Lehigh Valley. The Morning Call. This is yesterday. This is why we're on this now. Justin Simmons announces primary challenge to Charlie Dent. Republican State Representative Justin Simmons announced Wednesday that he will be running to unseat U.S. Representative Charlie Dent, a fellow Republican, okay, who has represented the state's 15th district for 7 terms, 14 years. 14 years. His campaign is aimed squarely at the longtime and well-funded incumbent, directing supporters to go to his website, okay? Simmons, not Dent. For voters get a preview of the primary brawl between Simmons and Dent. Got a preview last week when Dent responded to Simmons' public mulling of a challenge by releasing several of his text messages with Simmons. The message showed that the state representative seeking Dent's support last year amid Simmons' primary fight and questioned whether President Donald Trump might be removed from the presidential ticket. Simmons had responded by ratcheting up his critique of Dent and appeared Friday at an Allentown rally organized by conservative groups. I know the conservative groups supported Trump and frustrated by Dent's vote against the House GOP Obamacare replacement bill and comments Dent's made in national interviews against Trump. Now, they had a rally last Friday. Over 200 people were there. The the Republican chair of Northampton County, gave a statement, and they're behind this candidate. So here's the thing we got to watch for all over the United States. This is a state representative, nice young guy, running against Charlie Dent. Charlie Dent needs to go. So Charlie Dent knows there's backlash. So what does he have to do? He has to split the vote. Sources tell me in this district that Charlie Dent is getting ready to field a candidate. This is sources, okay? That Charlie Dent's getting ready to field his own conservative candidate, to have two conservative candidates with the same conservative positions vying for the same vote, while he, let's use sashay, right? He sashays right back into D.C. as he wades the swamp. Watch the Trojan horse, folks. Watch it in this upcoming election all over the place. So if you see an incumbent, a primary challenger, and then you see another primary challenger that's similar to the first one that came out, like this guy here, if another challenger comes out in this district that resembles this guy's politics, okay, next week, remember what I told you this week, to be in fear of watching for that. Yes, Richie?
Is it a jungle primary or just
No, it's a regular primary.
So there's the potential for a runoff?
Yeah, there's a potential. I'm not for sure of PA. We need to ask him that. But be aware of that, okay, folks? So that's the reason why we have picked this, because this simulates a lot of things that need to happen. This is an ideal situation for us to look at elections, because what did they do just last week? Now, this is on the east side of Pennsylvania, but they're already every day, CNN and MSNBC, saying the Pennsylvania regret. So this guy needs money. He needs help. He's going to be on the show Monday morning. Justin Simmons will be on our show Monday morning, and Charlie Dent must go. Now, I'm not endorsing this guy, so I don't know. How do you read into that? I'm not endorsing Justin Simmons, but Charlie Dent must go. That's interesting. What do you make of that? I'll tell you, folks, again, we're going to be talking about this all weekend. We're going to blow it up. You want to be here 8:30 Monday morning. This guy's going to be on the show for 30 minutes. We're going to have a 30-minute. We're going to ask him the tough questions and why Charlie Dent has to go.